And when you feel that the soca done, well, it's more soca.
This is Behind the Music with Joni here. Yeah. I was raised up in Dominica, then I moved to St. Kitts and Nevis. Then I found myself here in Wichita Falls. I felt the need to pursue my education and become something greater in life. But I wanted to move up from just being a high school teacher or just an electrician at a power station and have some sort of impact on society. Before playing the guitar, I was a sound engineer first. That's my introduction to music. I didn't have a teacher growing up. I begged my parents to send me to school, to some music class, some sort of formal music education class. And they never bothered with me, so I bought some books by myself and I practiced and practiced and practiced and read books and read books and read books and practiced. Until one day I met a friend of mine playing the keyboard, and everything I practiced I tried with him and it just meshed and gelled. Where I grew up in church and I would mix the sound and mix the band, mix everything, have everybody sounding how they want it to sound and still get that clean feel. That's what the instrument that stuck out to me the most was the guitar. That's why I ended up playing the guitar. And it just came natural. Originally I was accepted to Florida Tech. I was going there and then a friend of mine spoke to me and said, it costs approximately $10,000 to go FAU. It costs approximately $10,000 to do a whole entire year at MSU. 1 year to a semester, so the math to work out. Music is my life. MSU is cheap.
Well, Joni, I will describe him as a character. He's a very, very colorful character, especially when he is on his guitar. I like to call him the diva of our little group.
When I first came, I joined CISO band, like 5 days after getting here. Then I was told, you can't join the band because you haven't been inducted yet. I felt a bit sad in that I was being denied to play the guitar, and that does not sit well with me. So anyway, despite the hardship and the talking and saying that I shouldn't be there, I still took my guitar and I went to practice anyways. The most they could do was tell me not to play.
Did you play?
Yes.
Joni and I have worked together on numerous things. Anytime I had to do a performance, Joni was the one playing the guitar for me or some background instrumental. We did MSU's Got Talent together. We did expression performances together. As I said, we're in the band together, so we do that together as well. Anything musically inclined, we do together. If I had to explain Joni in one word, it would be talented. Joni is very versatile when it comes to music, so I would have to say talented. Very, very talented.
One day I was home and a friend of mine called me and said, come and record something for me in the studio. I took up my guitar as usual and just went, recorded it. Didn't think anything of it. A month later, I look into myself and people call me and tell me, oh, I hear that track and that track sounds nice and thing. God, an angel with him. A friend of mine recorded it, put it out and then just send me a check afterwards. That was the largest check I'd seen at that time. The first year was a bit not what I expected. When I came here, I see fellas I met in school, fellas I leaving high school in Dominica, meeting me on the airport and thing. I was like, where the hell you live, boss? What's going on? Then I meet man like Gavin Bell, who I leave home in cadets and thing, long time. All in all, it was a very fun-filled year though.
I envy any musician in terms of the talent they have. I have a passion and a love for music. I just don't have the talent to play an instrument. But I used my talent to become a DJ, and that wasn't enough. I still had the love for band, and I said, if I can't play it, I have to find some way to be around. And I was able to sit with Joni and other talented musicians where they formed what you call the CISO band, and now even have the vision to now go and follow what is newly becoming Supernova. And that is a band that I see has some direction in which I'm expecting great outcome. With Joni being able to lead as he does and show people his true potential and his talent.
Well, Supernova sprung out of CISO band, where a few of us thought that the band is too large to carry to certain gigs. So we basically came together. We had our own practices going on. But we would mainly line together a lot. And as the rest of the band members, after every practice session, we would be the ones left back fixing up the system and lifting up all the speakers and stuff. So we just formed the band. Then we met this other guy who drums. He came and he was like, yo, I'm looking at a gig somewhere, looking to play something. And then we called him into the practice one night. He drummed first and we liked his style, so we started a new band. We just had a concert recently. We went from black gospel to soul to some small contemporary stuff into smooth jazz. Then we had some poetry as well. Shari's well-known poet in CISO. Then you had people like Liska Bass. I didn't know she was that artistic until she came to me and she was like, yeah, I have a poem. And she said, oh, I was shocked. So I said, why don't you just bring it onto the show? Right now in Wichita Falls, we do a lot of community work and we play for Falls Fest almost every year since I've been here. I played with a band called Royalties for quite some time. We got a call to play for a music festival in St. Kitts. That was a big thing because I had not played on that level as yet. That's a world stage and you open for people like John Legend. We played for people like Calypso King from back home, Conris. We opened for Morgan Heritage on that same stage. Coming to Wichita Falls and people in Wichita Falls being from a totally different culture and musical background would see things differently than the way I would see it from back home. So I had to adjust my style and how I played to accommodate them.
Joni is very relatable, so working with him is pretty good at times. When it comes to band, however, you know, it's Joni, so he hears every little wrong detail. So when you think, you know, everything's fine and dandy, Joni would be the one to be like, no, we gotta start over. No, we gotta start over because he has some kind of wrong picture or something. So it's good and bad, but it's fine.
I think I guess I'll have to start with the worst. The worst experiences would have to be practice when he would come late. You know, we're all students, we're still focusing on school, but you know, we're still dedicated to our music. But the late arrivals, those were awful. Our best experiences, they're actually on stage, where he really showcases his flamboyant tendencies. And I think the most memorable one would be at the talent show that As One Gospel held in Aiken Auditorium. And he and Gavin were having a little sound clash. He was playing his guitar, Gavin was playing his pan, and he tried to show Gavin up, and Gavin just hit the ball right out of the park, flipped that pan upside down and was going at it, and yeah, he kind of looked like a whipped dog who put his tail between his legs and crept back into the shadows. But it was fun, you know, it was fun. It was fun. It was all fun.
I've had the opportunity to, be in mixing for the bands performing, where we have talented singers in the band. Ladies that can break the hearts of men, and even some guys that can break the hearts of women. But Joni just has a way of taking the spotlight. I've had Joni, you think he's backing up the singers, when actually Joni makes it look like the singer's backing him up. Joni will take his guitar, he will take it to the front of the crowd, he'll take it in the crowd even. There were times when Joni would disconnect his guitar and he's where he should not be. Let's leave it like that. And that's some of my worst experience with Joni. He just needs to understand that he's not a spotlight every time. I don't remember the event, but I mean, we've played so many places and I've managed the band with Joni. But I can recall an example where, here's a song being sung and Joni's not even doing a solo. But Joni is right in front of the singer, playing the guitar. I'm trying to take a photo of the singer singing, and all I'm getting is Joni and his guitar, Joni and his guitar.
I got asked to do MSU's Got Talent very last minute. And I went to Joni, I was like freaking out. I was like, Joni, what am I gonna do? He's like, we figured it out. And initially we had a mashup of 2 songs, and then the day of the show, we were like, scrap that, and we're gonna do something else. So we stayed late practicing and stuff, and we made it work, and I came second. But during that performance, it was Joni and I had a very good chemistry on stage. So at the end of the performance, we were on the edge of the stage, and I was singing to him basically, and I put my head on his shoulder and he put his head on my head, and everyone in the crowd was like, oh, but it was really cute. So that's my fondest memory with Joni.
I like smooth jazz. It's very free and you can do so much with it. It's not limited, like say classical music. You play what you read on the sheet. Whereas in smooth jazz, they give you a sheet and you play the chords, but then you also embellish and put some of your own influences into the George Benson, Norman Brown, Larry Carlton, Carlos Santana, Steve Lukather, those kind of guys. Lee Ritenour. He started playing the guitar at 6 years old. And he's not only just any guitarist, he plays classical music, smooth jazz, rock, straight ahead jazz. Gibson, one of the biggest guitar companies, signed him on. So he has his own guitar basically, which he doesn't have to pay for.
I act as a manager, more like to me the sound engineer. I'm responsible for setting up when they're playing out, getting equipment, checking cables. I'm more like a technician. I'm the voice that they're afraid to hear, meaning I'm going to tell them as it is. They may be good musicians, but if they don't sound good, I'm going to tell them they don't sound good. If they're going to choose a song that's not going to move the crowd, I'm going to tell them it's a song that's not going to move the crowd. And so my job really is to, oversee the band, make sure that they're going in the right direction, and most of all, keep some coherence, because I've seen too many bands broken up for simple things. I've got a nice set of guys, and I just want to keep that cohesive. You're looking at a guy that has mixed personalities, various talents, all engulfed in one body. You're looking at a guy that can make you laugh and just be funny. A guy that can be real serious and give you the sound of your life. A guy that can lead. A guy that can be a showboat. A guy that can follow, most importantly. I say anybody that can do all these things has to be exquisite. And that's my one word for Joni. The one guitarist that really hit me, especially with that song Maria Maria, was Santana. And when you see Santana solo, you know it was Santana and no one else. I've listened music, lots of artists. We've been most of the world is focused on, you know, guys that play the sax, guys that sing, a lot of these new hip hop artists. But when I came here and I saw Joni lead solo, I said that has got to be the seedling of Santana. Joni plays and he plays well, guys. This guy, oh my God, he runs the chords. I can't even tell you the notes and the chords he runs, but he runs them well. All right, and I said, think about any guy that with a guitar, there's another Santana in the making.